Hello YouTube, this is the Satsu5 and this is going to be a vlog video of some of my favorite guns that I've owned. And two of them that I've owned currently. And these are all handguns. In general, I enjoy my handguns more than my long guns, even though I'm not the best handgun shot. Um, but First of all, my first three guns I ever bought were Ruger single action revolvers. And my first four revolvers, or my first four handguns were revolvers. Um, but my first handgun I ever bought that I really miss is my Ruger Old Army revolver. And I really regret getting rid of it or trading it. And it's a cap and ball revolver. And I traded it for my Ruger Blackhawk. I think it was the Blackhawk. Ruger Blackhawk 41 Magnum. Keep in mind, there was a general theme of my first few handguns. I think it's a good rule to say that I like anything developed by Elmer Keith, as far as bullets are concerned. But I had the Captain Ball revolver, the Ruger Blackhawk or Super Blackhawk 41 Magnum with the Bisley grip, which was awesome. And I unfortunately traded that for my Ruger Vaquero in 357 Magnum. Now, the reason I traded the Ruger 41 Magnum was because, one, I didn't reload, and two, finding ammo was a pain, so I couldn't shoot it that often. But I really liked it. It was a cool gun. I love the Bisley grip. 41 Magnum's a cool round, but I just couldn't feed the gun. So I traded that for the Ruger Vaquero in 357 Magnum. It was very much a SAS gun, and although it was at a pair. But I decided I didn't want the Ruger Vaquero, although it was fun to shoot. It didn't have adjustable sights, and it wasn't really a good hunting sidearm in my opinion. It was made for SAS competitions, but I didn't feel it was a good sidearm for hunting, even though it's in one of my favorite calibers, 357 Magnum. I feel that 357 Magnum is one of the most versatile rounds you can get. You can load it up for people, and you can load it up to hunt big game. It can take down bears. It can take down walruses. Yeah, they actually hunted walruses with it. It could pretty much take down anything in North America. So I really love the 357 Magnum. Not that the 44 Magnum or 44 not that the 41 Magnum or the 44 Magnum are not more capable, but really, when it comes to Magnum rounds, 357 is just hard to beat. It's good for self-defense. It's good against animals. It's just hard to beat, and it's a very common round to find, and it's you can shoot 38 specials, which is cheaper to target practice with. So that's why I love 357 Magnum. And I love my 686. But I traded that Ruger Vaquero for a Colt Trooper. Now, initially, I liked the Colt Trooper. I thought it was awesome. But then I handled a Colt Python. And I felt like my Colt Trooper was a fake Colt compared to the Python. I just love the Python. And the Colt Trooper just didn't seem like that cool of a gun afterwards. But the Colt Trooper was the first handgun I ever used to kill a deer. And keep in mind how I was brought up shooting was shooting off of a bench. My dad wasn't a tactical guy. He had no interest in AR-15s, AK-47s, or defensive shotguns. He taught us how to hunt in a very East Texas way, which is being in a deer stand, hunting over corn, and shooting animals. I'm not going to say it's the most pure form of hunting, but it was what I grew up doing, and I'm not ashamed of that. But I was trained to shoot on a bench, so I never learned offhand shooting or anything like that. So when I shot this deer with my Colt Trooper, it was off of a bench position, and I was able to hit it at least twice, and I think I hit it twice. I think I hit it with the first bullet for sure, and I think I hit it a second time. But anyways, it was a small buck, nothing flashy. And the only reason I used my handgun was because I dropped my deer rifle and I didn't trust the scope. So I used my handgun because it was one of those I wonder if I could do it type of things. But and I did do it. But anyways, the Colt Trooper lost its luster. I traded that for my Ruger Mark III 22 pistol with the TacLite Upper. Actually, I bought the TacLite Upper after I bought the Mark III, but I love the Mark III. And the only thing I don't like about my Mark III as of right now is, one, the sights, which are just black on black, no contrast, and two, it doesn't have a silencer on it. Now, I originally bought the TacLite Upper to get a silencer, but I just never got around to doing it. And yes, silencer is the proper term. So I'll leave that at that. Anyways, those two automatic pistols that I really love, that I really miss, that I regret getting rid of. One is the Beretta 84 Cheetah in 380, and I felt sufficiently armed with the Beretta Cheetah. It's a compact gun, but it's really, in the world of 380s, a full-size pistol. It's double stack, held 12 rounds, and it pointed well for me. With my bad technique and at relatively short ranges, I was fairly accurate with it. You know, I never tried stretching it out to see how far I could hit, but I practiced some makeshift skills with it. You know, shooting behind a barrier and stuff. My friend Daniel, the Native American guide from the tribe of Mexico, was helping me at the time shooting with it, and then I got rid of that for the Colt 1903, and I love the Colt 1903. It has a lot of history behind it. It feels like a real gun. You'll notice in my collection of handguns, I really love metallic guns. I love steel. So, you know, polymer guns are not horrible. They have their place. I own a Glock 20, but I love metal guns. They just seem like real guns to me, which I know isn't the case, but that's my preference. And the Colt 1903 in 32 ACP, I would prefer to have the 380 Colt 1903, which most people refer to as the Colt 1908, but it's actually a Colt 1903. A Colt 1908 is just a identifier that it shoots 380, but it's not a technical term. But the Colt 1903 is a metal gun, blued steel, beautiful gun, and it's really thin, and it's small enough that a very petite woman concealed it to break her boyfriend out of prison. And who I'm referring to? Bonnie Parker and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde. So, the gun has history to it. It's a beautiful gun. It was actually a military gun, believe it or not. And so I just loved it. But I was like, you know what? The sights on this thing are very minimal at best. I said, I probably need something with better sights if I'm going to carry it. And, you know, so I was like, you know what? I'll trade it for the Walther PPSM2 because that's what my friend was carrying. And I traded it for that, and I regret it because I really enjoyed just handling and using, and, you know, I enjoyed the Colt 1903. It was just one of those guns that I really connected with. If that's a thing, it made me happy. But I traded it for the Walther PPSM2. I bought a Colt 3032 because I had 42 ACP ammo left over from the Colt, and I decided that the Beretta 3032, which was a Grail gun of mine, a relatively cheap Grail gun, I guess you can say, and it's not cheap. I decided that it wasn't reliable enough for self-defense. It's a blowback action with no extractor. if you have a malfunction, you have to pop the barrel, get your fingernail out, and rake the you know, brass the efficient round out, close the barrel, rack the slide. It was just very complicated to clear malfunctions, and so that was one of the reasons why I like revolvers, because in general they don't malfunction in that manner. Although you could argue that revolvers, when they do malfunction in a very bad way. It's just been my experience that that revolvers don't malfunction nearly as much as auto pistols. But I ended up selling the Walther PPS M2 and the Beretta 3032 for my Ruger SP101, and I eventually got the Smith & Wesson 686. I love the 686, and I see myself in the future getting another 686, 686 plus, possibly with a shorter barrel. But anywho, those are the guns that I love. I really miss them, excluding the Smith & Wesson and the Ruger Mark III. I still own those, but all those other guns I regret getting rid of, and I really wish I still had them. I was talking about guns in another video that I just recently uploaded, and I thought I'd make this vlog video. So that's it. I'm Asatsu5, and I'm out.